Hello and welcome to Mognibu Top News of the Week. I am Blessing Ogundola. Our top stories. The Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, has directed security personnel to confront armed bandits and terrorists without hesitation, warning that any operative who fails to neutralize criminals under the guise of awaiting orders would be treated as collaborating with them. The minister gave the directive in Sokoto State while commissioning 64 operational vehicles and security equipment worth over 27 billion naira procured by the state government to strengthen security operations. Meanwhile, the Minister of Defense, Christopher Musa, says security forces are exercising restraint and ongoing efforts to rescue 39 pupils and 7 teachers abducted by bandits in Oyo State, following threats by kidnappers to kill the hostages if troops advance. Speaking during an interview with newsmen, the minister disclosed that the abductors are using the victims as human shields while demanding the release of detained commanders.
It's a very sad event. Unfortunately, bad things do happen. For whatever reason, they are looking for leverage because we have some of their commanders with us and they feel taking these kids and holding them to ransom will make us release their commander. And now we've threatened when we wanted to take action against that if we come any closer, they want to kill all the kids.
He assured Nigerians that security agencies remain committed to securing the safe return of the victims while avoiding casualties. In the meantime, governors of the 17 northern states have inaugurated the Board of Trustees of the Northern Nigerian Security Trust Fund, pledging a monthly contribution of 1 billion naira from each state and the local governments for 1 year to tackle insecurity. Chairman of the Northern States Governors Forum and Governor of Gombe State, Muhammadu Yahya, said the initiative would strengthen intelligence sharing, improve security coordination, and complement the efforts of federal security agencies in addressing boundary terrorism, kidnapping, and other crimes. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the reconstruction of the Ado-Ijon Ilumoba-Ikole Road under the federal government's Renewed Hope Infrastructure Project Fund. Governor Biodo Yebanji of Ekiti State welcomed the approval, describing it as another demonstration of the federal government's commitment to infrastructure development in the state. On business, Dangote Petroleum Refinery has commenced free delivery of petroleum motor spirits known as petrol to 6 states and the Federal Capital Territory, while retaining its ex-depot price of 1,075 naira per litre. The initiative covers Lagos, Ogun, Rivers, Kaduna, and Delta states, as well as the Federal Capital Territory, for customers purchasing a minimum of 250,000 litres. Meanwhile, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria says petrol pump prices have dropped by about 125 naira per litre in the past 3 weeks. In another development, the Central Bank of Nigeria has warned members of the public, businesses and financial institutions against rejecting the standard 100 naira banknotes, reaffirming that it remains legal tender across the country. The Apex Bank said both the standard and the commemorative 100 naira notes remain valid and should circulate side by side. It's further warned that rejecting the standard note violates the provisions of the CBN Act and may attract appropriate sanctions. In a separate development, the Ekiti State government has rehabilitated a 21-year-old woman, Blessing Ojo, who was abandoned by her mother over allegations of witchcraft The government provided accommodation, sponsored her tailoring apprenticeship, and presented her with a sewing machine after graduation. The intervention followed public attention generated by her story, with officials describing the sport as part of Governor Biodun Oyebanji's commitment to protecting vulnerable residents. In a separate page, the Ekiti State House of Assembly has called for stronger environmental protection measures and improved climate resilience to reduce the impact of recurring rainstorm disasters across the state. Chairman of the House Committee on Environment, Honorable Fakunle Okemen, made the call during a public hearing, warning that indiscriminate tree felling has worsened the effects of heavy rainstorms in communities including Ayebode, Ijero, and Igbemo. On the foreign scene, healthcare workers responding to the Ebola outbreak in Democratic Republic of Congo have embarked on a strike over unpaid salaries and allowances, raising concerns over efforts to contain the disease. The workers, mainly based in Ituri province, said they had not received wages and bonuses since the outbreak was declared in May. They also complained of inadequate protective equipment and unfair treatment by authorities. Health officials warned the strike could hamper efforts to contain the outbreak. On sports, the Argentine Football Association is under preliminary investigation by the United States Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation over alleged money laundering and bank fraud involving more than $300 million. According to reports, investigators are examining the association's international commercial agreements and financial transactions processed through American banks during the ongoing FIFA World Cup. The probe is focused on whether the association, led by President Claudio Tapia, and accompanying links to its overseas commercial operations engaged in financial activities that may have violated United States law. Responding to the development, officials of the Argentine Football Association called for respect for the presumption of innocence, insisting that the ongoing investigation does not amount to a finding of guilt. And that's the Modnable Top News of the Week. Thank you for watching and listening.